debt is not terrible. People take on debt to buy their house. I took on some debt to start my business. It's the percentage of debt and the management of debt. In American history, we surpassed 100% during World War II. We're at 103% of debt. Well, why were we borrowing the money? To save our country, to save the world, for what we believed in. Where were we getting our money? From Americans. They were buying the bonds and others. And you notice once the war was over, the debt goes down. Well, if you look at where we are today and the projected, this is CBO, and think about where the interest rate is now, it's low. Well, what are we borrowing this money for now? Mainly to fund our social welfare. So it cannot maintain itself. So either you have to do something about this or you look at the future of America, the crisis that we'll be in. And then the next slide will tell you, on average, you get 18% of GDP in. For every year you do nothing about the overall budget, Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security will take every dollar that comes in. That's no interest, that's no government, that's no military. Every year you ignore the problem, you add roughly about 11 to 12 trillion to the unfunded. So every year that you ignore it, you're doing more damage to the future generations. And so we go through the different ones, and we can talk about it in the perspective. And we also hold up the difference so people will understand. In 1970, 5% of our debt was held by foreign entities. Today it's 47%, the largest being China. And I always tell the story. If you want reality into it, you know, we sell our debt 5 days a week down here in D.C. I don't know if any of you have ever been there to view it. It's a little room, kind of probably a quarter of this glass, and you watch it like a trading room. If we ever didn't sell our debt, there's like 30 seconds between there and the world knowing. China's the largest foreign holder of our debt, roughly 11%. Remember last February we sold our weapons to Taiwan? We've done that before. We also had the Dalai Lama come visit the president, which he's done before. China was upset, said our relationship was at a low level, canceled the meeting with Gates going overseeing their Secretary of Defense. Well, something happened the next month. China was no longer the largest holder of our debt. Japan became number one. Not because Japan bought more, it's because China sold. Now, just that small story tells you that could be our foreign policy, could be any direction of America, could be determined by our debt, and we're kind of at that point. That's why the challenge and the battle that you see before us, the CR is one, but the budget will be much larger. It's really for the direction of where the country's going to go.